sir.
Yes, sir.
Paper stack, don't forget it. Let them know we need business, you know? How we start off there.
Yes.
Welcome to another episode of
Can't argue with that. I'm Alfonso.
I'm Ryan.
And you can't argue with that.
Don't, man, just can't argue with that. But today,
Hey, don't make them turn off the TV now. Don't make them turn off the TV with this subject.
for this segment, we are going to be talking about the Cleveland Browns.
A team that's been synonymous with not mediocrity.
That's giving them way too much credit.
Dysfunction.
Dysfunctionality.
Asinineness.
10, 11, 12,
just defective.
So, folks,
Broken.
please bear with us. We
Yes.
promise that you will enjoy this segment.
Definitely.
Don't turn us off because we're talking about the Browns.
And we're going to talk about Kaepernick too with
Yeah.
the Browns.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So first and foremost, we want to talk about their recent moves.
But actually, before we do,
Yeah.
we have an important announcement to make.
Oh yes,
We have a special guest in the
we
house.
do have a special guest.
Our first guest on the show.
Want to bring him on now?
Yeah.
Let's bring him on now. We have Devin Landers coming on, man. What's going on? What's going
up,
on?
fellas?
Live in
What's up,
studio,
fellas?
live in
What's up,
studio,
man?
live
We
in
live.
studio.
What's up?
We live,
Hello.
We live, baby.
Hello, world.
Yeah.
Hello,
We
world.
live, baby.
I'm,
Yes, we do.
I'm grateful, happy to be here.
All right,
Grateful,
so-
happy to be here.
He originally started off as a caller, and we wanted to talk about Jayden and Brock Osweiler because those are the two recent headline transactions that have gone on. They have gone ahead and signed
The Browns.
and
The Browns.
released
The Browns
and signed
cut-
and released.
The Browns paid Brock Osweiler
How much?
$16 million to go away.
16
It's like, just
million?
go do something with
Crazy.
yourself.
16 million.
Just to go away. Like,
So basically,
How much did they sign him for? Let's talk about how much they signed him for initially.
Well, they traded for him and they got a second round pick for taking on his contract.
Well, okay, let's talk
$16
about.
million is guaranteed.
And then the Broncos signed him for how much? Do you know?
Minimum contract.
$700,000.
$800,000.
Yeah, like
$700,000.
basically the Broncos' son.
Yeah.
They son
Yeah.
Brock Osweiler.
Yeah,
It was like
exactly.
Brock Osweiler, 16 years old,
Right.
feeling myself.
Right.
feeling myself. And
Oh,
then-
so that's how it is. You go out the house. and
Right. You go out to see how it is. You
Yeah,
go
you
out
see
there,
how
get
it
your
is.
own house,
You
pay your own
grown.
bills,
Yeah, exactly.
pay your own bills.
Yep.
Go ahead and see how it is out there. 20 months later, right back at home,
on,
right
come
back at
on.
home with a suitcase, and chilling with his
Hey,
head down.
but your allowance dropped significantly.
Right.
Oh,
You
right.
get no allowance now.
No allowance, dog.
I hope
Like-
you saved all that money from that last contract.
Right. I hope you
Exactly.
got the Honda and not the Bentley. 'cause-
But one thing I have to say, and this is an adage that everyone says in this situation: go with the devil that you know, rather than the devil that you don't know.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So, I mean, they've seen him sticking up practice, or maybe being a practice hero. So they know that they have a good scout team quarterback at least.
But the thing about
So-
it is, to pay $16 million for someone to go away, though, when you're starting a rookie and your backup is a second-year player,
Mhm.
they don't. He's been in the league for 6 years now. They don't even want him around. Like,
Exactly.
go.
And
Like,
only the Browns
Only
would do
the Browns
something
would
like
do
that.
that.
Exactly.
Only the
Exactly.
Browns would do something like that.
I
like,
mean, just have him on the team to teach him.
when are the Browns gonna stop being the laughing stock of the NFL?
I mean,
every time I feel like somebody makes a trade with the Browns, I feel like
The Browns got fleeced?
They got fleeced every single time. Like every single time, every team is like every.
That's the exact opposite of Cleveland Cavaliers now, because Cleveland can't lose nowadays.
Right,
Seems like to
right,
me.
yeah.
You know, with LeBron and with the recent signings, like Dan Gilbert can't lose, but
Right.
the Cleveland Indians can lose. Well, they were all right, and then they won the World Series recently, right? Well, yeah. So that's
he
not
was the Cubs.
Oh, that's Cubs.
Cleveland
Oh yeah,
Indians.
Cleveland.
We don't know too much about
I don't
baseball
know,
around
man.
these parts. We don't really know too much about baseball.
Oh, you throwing me off.
We'll
man.
work
Stop
on
talking
that.
about
My bad,
baseball.
my bad.
Yeah, man, you gotta let us know when you
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
pretty on
ain't-
curveball.
Yeah, but it's
So let me ask you this, Devin. Do you think Brock Osweiler?
Okay, the last Cleveland Indians World Series was 1920-1948.
They
Going
went to
wrong.
the World Series.
That's the last
I know
time.
they were
Okay.
good.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they only
Anyway,
went to the World Series, but they didn't win.
You think Brock Osweiler's gonna do well on the Broncos? The second go around.
So
Or is he going to look like the guy that's been cut from his last 3
the
games?
same guy that's been cut from his last. You are what you say people think you are.
Right, exactly.
And it's show and prove on tape.
This is like I said in a previous episode. I have seen quarterbacks just taking off season and come back just refreshed and with better mechanics.
Like who?
Cooper Rush.
Alright, so somehow the Cowboys
that's shown
get
throughout
into
the,
this
through the
topic.
season, like a real person. Because every quarterback that sucks at the beginning sucks forever.
So,
That I can think of, unless you give me a.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I know, like, I don't want to loud out anybody, but I know my quarterback from high school, Galen Bennett. Galen Bennett didn't have a miraculous arm initially.
He
had all the.
He said high school.
I'm stacking the papers. So, do we think that Brock Osweiler is going to perform well this year?
No.
Let's take a poll.
Is he going to have a chance to perform?
Dude,
He might not even.
dude, you think Brock's going to play well for the Broncos?
When I think about it, the Broncos don't have a quarterback.
They have Trevor Siemian, who I'd rather.
They have
play
confidence. They have confidence in him. So hey. Whatever.
So, okay.
I mean, he could go out and.
In addition to,
I don't know.
So
Peyton
in-
Manning, you think he's gonna be better than Peyton Manning if they got the same kind of defense?
well, he got benched for Peyton Manning, who had a broke neck and was throwing some ducks.
Yeah.
So he got benched.
That's true.
So keep in mind, last time we saw him in the Broncos uniform, Peyton was throwing ducks, got benched for Brock. They're like, we'd rather go with the guy that's 45
With
and
a broken neck.
and can't turn to the left and throw some ducks. Like that's who they went with. So
My head about to fall off.
So we're here talking about the Browns, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
So the Browns have been in the news recently here a lot of late. We've talked a little bit about Brock,
They've been in the news a few times.
Joe Hayden.
For all the wrong reasons.
So how about the fact that a couple of weeks ago, they went ahead and 12 of their players took a knee during the anthem,
Mm-hmm.
including the all-important, we had a white player also do the same.
Is that the first time that's happened?
Yeah, he was the first one to do it.
Good for him.
And he actually went on wax and talked about, why it was he did it. It turns out that he has a child on the way. He has his child is going to be mixed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he feels like he needs to take a stand because he's aware of the situation that his child is going to be taking on some issues that he doesn't know.
Because Redbone is still black.
I'm light, still black.
Right.
Light, but
Exactly.
still black. It don't matter.
Exactly. So why don't you guys tell me how y'all feel about the fact that the 12 Browns took a knee?
I personally love it, and as well, I love that white American actually is involved, because that's truly what it takes. You've heard it all across all the shows. I mean, that's exactly what it takes to spark up a revolution like this. So most definitely, I was amazed to see it, surprised to see it, but yeah, most definitely. I don't want to bring in the other subject, but yeah. Just go ahead. What do you think about it, good sir?
I just think, for anything to happen, it just can't be one person. One person can create the movement, but for the movement to actually change, to cause change, I think it has to be multiple people. And that's a step towards the right direction.
That was a huge.
And what they're gonna do? They're gonna cut all 12 of them.
No,
That's a starting. That's an offense plus one
Actually,
defensive player. Or they
the
not
Browns just let.
they might.
It might be cheaper for them to let 12 go. They let Brock go for $16 million.
Hey,
So 12 of them
get
might
some
not make
cap
16
room.
million. Man, we use the cap space.
Right.
We use the cap space, man. Let's go sign some rookies. But so also news just came out recently here. I think yesterday. I don't know if you guys heard this or not. But the Cleveland Police Department is no longer going to be carrying the flag on the field in response to the fact that the Cleveland Browns have allowed their players to take a knee. How do you guys feel about that?
Cool. I mean,
I say
that's the steps it takes. That's what protest causes. It makes people quit their jobs. It makes people stop doing part of their jobs. I mean, hey,
you gotta make
by all means. That's what a protest. That's what the steps of a protest are supposed to consist of. So I love it.
Listen,
I love it.
Make people uncomfortable.
So they, I guess the police feel as though if you're gonna allow them to do this to our flag, then we don't want to be a part of it.
Now hold on. Let me bring this all the way back because we opened up this talking about how Cleveland is a synonymous with with just defective play, just sorry everything.
I'm waiting to hear something from the Cleveland Browns that is a positive.
No, I mean this all is positive.
The best positive thing was Johnny Manziel. Everybody was hype, and then
he was exactly who we thought he was.
Exactly, and worse.
What I'm saying is this
rolling up $20 bills in the bathroom.
As far as protests and everything like that, the Cleveland Browns are looking towards being in the they're looking towards the promised land. They're getting there.
Okay.
But however, they got another guy, classic Cleveland Brown, Jim Brown, one of the leaders of the Ali Summit, and that was obviously
he's a part. I don't want to. Don't get fired, right. but like he brings together all the gangs, and he's real respected in the hood out here. So
he's respected.
And at that summit that you're talking about, that took place 50 years ago, it was the greats.
Yeah, exactly.
All the greats. Excuse me, I almost said Kareem. Lou Alcindor. That's how long ago it was. He wasn't even before. He was Lou Alcindor.
Them boy they had LeBron. Them boy had.
And the thing about it is, who was in the middle of Ali, Lou Alcindor, Jim Brown? Who was in the middle of that? Jim Brown was
the biggest picture.
Right in the middle, like at the King's table, he's at the front.
But let me tell y'all the reason why, because what happened is, just if you guys aren't aware, Jim Brown went against Kaepernick, basically. Right. You know what I mean? He went on record against Kaepernick, and I don't know particularly why. Well, I do know particularly why, because he initially, I don't know if y'all remember, but he initially tried to team up with Kaepernick and tried to emulate the summit for Kaepernick. He said, hey, I've contacted a few, because he brings gangs together, just like he wants to bring athletes together and get this done. So he tried to bring some athletes together and said, Kaepernick, I got something ready for you. I got a Summit 2K17 for you. What's up? Kaepernick never returned his calls, never acknowledged it, and he felt very disrespected. That's why he's going on record strongly against Kaepernick.
But with all that being said, I just think it's a travesty that Kaepernick is trying to help us as in everyone as a people come together, and Jim Brown would say something like this to further. He's
a gnarly old man. That's what it is.
Separatist.
I wonder how old he is. He's probably like 70, 80
right.
or something. He's a gnarly old man. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I
feel like if he doesn't like what Kaepernick has to say,
he plays for Cleveland.
I know.
Cleveland. This goes back in line with how I opened up the show. Cleveland synonymous with just poor everything.
I feel like every time like a team wants to get rid of some baggage, who's the first thing they call? Hey, listen, we got to call up Cleveland. Cleveland, and see what they're talking about.
It is funny that the Texans knew exactly who to call. Though.
Right?
They took off
real
very
much long.
They started off with, "We'll give you Brock in the first." They're like, just give us a second. Wait a minute, hold on. We'll take a second. Like, man.
And with the good franchise, like how they got rid of Joe Hayden, you would think that they got rid of Joe Hayden for salary cap purposes, or maybe it's something that he's injured, maybe it's something that he's not very competitive. But with the Browns, he's back. They're just being the Browns. Yeah. They're just being the Browns.
Like that's why I'm not sure, because logically you would think Joe Hayden's done. He's washed up. But the Cleveland Browns released him, so he might be an All-Pro next year.
There's no reason to think that anything is. That's the difference between the Patriots.
Also, if you got somebody off the Patriots, they're washed up and didn't fit their system.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Not only did they cut Joe Hayden, but they're not at the salary cap for.
Yeah.
So they have to sign somebody to
fill it in
for the same amount of money to try and reach that salary cap
you
floor.
couldn't just give him a couple more $1 million because he's a great
you could have
cornerback.
given him an incentive and then cut it.
I have something for y'all.
Yeah.
I looked at y'all know y'all have they have a transaction list, right?
Okay.
And look it up now. The transaction list has 12 people being waived or cut. Only 2 people being signed. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
The numbers don't make sense.
Y'all are already below the salary cap, so I'm like, but we don't need to talk about Cleveland. They just need LeBron. They need LeBron. You need to come to Cleveland. That's what you need to do.
It gives me so much more respect for the franchises like the Steelers and the Cowboys and the and the Patriots, because I mean everything's and.
I'm sorry, you also said Panthers, right? Do you have respect for us too?
Recent respect, not history.
Okay.
History hasn't given me much. Recent history, yes.
Recent history says the Cowboys only won 1 playoff game in 25 years. But go on.
I didn't say it. That's between them two. I'm a Colts fan, and I don't have much to say. Die easy, Colts fan, not die hard.
So, I mean. But one question I have for you is, what do you think about Jim Brown and the fact that he's just a gnarly old man? Do you think that he's a gnarly old man, or do you think he has some other motive? I mean, what do you think about that situation?
Yeah, I think Jim Brown is an interesting person.
Now that I told you the motivation behind it,
yeah.
that I think, what do you think about it?
I just think that he is a gnarly. I think a lot of it is he's a gnarly old man. He's just got something to say. He's like, show y'all young bucks what's going on. Because back when he played, there was segregation, and he saw the segregation firsthand.
Exactly.
You know, and I feel like he should have a role in it. But I think that I don't know. Did the Ali Summit? Did they bring in anybody young into that summit, or was it a bunch of young?
No, it was Lou Alcindor. That was when
everyone was young. Everyone was young.
He was actually in college. He was in college. That was when he was still Lou Alcindor before he was creaming.
So everyone was young. He got young athletes purposefully.
It was all in their prime.
Everyone in their prime, the most influential athletes at the same time, all in one. So that star power affects the status quo. And that's what he was trying to do this year. He was going to get. I mean, I don't know, but he was going to probably try to get LeBron and Johnny Manziel. I'm joking. But, you know, he was trying to get, he was going to try to get
the Cleveland greats.
Yeah.
The Cleveland greats.
The best of Cleveland. Yeah.
Okay, so with all that being said, so we expect big things from Cleveland Browns this year. Is that what we're going? Or we think of playoffs here? I mean, they cut bait with Joe Hayden and Brock Osweiler. So
they'll win.
Addition by
let me see if they play the Jets first and foremost, and I'll get back to you. Because if they play the Jets, 1-15 at least.
That's a dub.
Yeah, that's a dub. That's the Jets. I think.
That's a dub.
I think because remember initially I was hard on the Cleveland Browns, harder on them than the Jets.
Right.
But you brought me over on that.